Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and we love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about our new seasonal collection of Meain Knitwear. One of my favorite brands. I feel like Meain is in fact one of the most authentic knitwear brands available anywhere in the world. Knit on the small Aran Island off the coast of Ireland of Meain. In Gaelic, it literally means the middle island. It's a series of 3 islands that were traditionally fishermen communities. And so in that kind of history, in that vein, all of Meain's knitwear, really has this rich fisherman's kind of Aran Cable patterns. So I had the opportunity to go visit Meain a few years back, back whenever I had my huge beard, and to visit with Tarlach. And it was on that trip that I really developed such a profound appreciation for what he's actually doing. As I said, it's one of the most authentic brands out there for knitwear. The reason is because the sole purpose of Meain really is to support the traditional way of life on the island of Meain. Now, Meain is the most well-preserved Gaelic community in all of Ireland, and that's actually how Tarlach became to know the island. He was studying at the university in Dublin, Gaelic, and so this is just where you went to go study the Gaelic language because it was so well preserved on this island. Whenever Tarlach arrived on the island, he really discovered that the traditional way of life was being threatened by just the modern economies. Fishing, wasn't able to support the island like it traditionally was able to. And so the whole entire idea of Meain was to really leverage, the island's rich tradition in fishing and in knitting, to really give new lifeblood to the economy. Meain today is the largest employer on the island of Meain, and Tarlach's been able to really draw influences of what makes that island so unique. The colors, the traditional cables, even some of the traditional historic personalities on the island, which I'll talk about in a minute, to really create a collection of knitwear that is unique, it's authentic, and is incredibly luxurious. So we're really proud at the Hanger Project to carry quite a unique assortment of the Meain knitwear, and it's always a particular source of pride for me to be able to support this brand and to really share it with all of you. So in this video, I just wanted to talk through some of the stories of these knitwear pieces that are often lost on the website. This year we've updated 2 of the pieces that we've traditionally featured here on the Hanger Project that I feel are some of the best representations of really what knitwear is on the island of Meain. So we've got our Celebration knit and our Martin Beg knit. Traditionally we did these in different fibers, but this year we're doing them in a super G-long merino wool. It's an incredibly long staple, soft wool from Australia. And these 2 sweaters right here, in so many ways, really just sum up what island life was like. Here we have 2 sweaters, one being the Martin Beg sweater, which is actually a reproduction of a sweater that was discovered in the attic of one of the houses there from a fisherman named Martin Beg. We actually have a photograph of him wearing this. And so this was a really unique workwear sweater that the fishermen or the residents would actually wear as they went out onto the island to work. It would keep them warm. Traditionally these were knit at home. And because they were workwear sweaters, there really wasn't much embellishment. You wouldn't have someone spending a lot of time, with these intricate cables for the sweater then to be, worn out on the boats and used. But what made this sweater quite unique is that it was knit by the wife of Martin Beg, who actually was one of the more well-known and kind of renowned knitters on the island. And so what was unique is that she worked in, what were traditionally very formal kind of celebration elements, these embellishments, into a piece that her husband was wearing out onto the fishing boats. Now you can tell this is a workwear sweater because the bottom half is totally unadorned and unembellished, and that's because as the fishermen were carrying things, the bottom of their sweaters always took the brunt of the work and could tear, and so you wouldn't spend a lot of time with an intricate cable on a part of the sweater that you knew could be damaged. So another interesting element with this sweater is that you see the middle cable is a very traditional Aran cable, but you're beginning to see some of the British influences. At the turn of the 20th century, in the early 1900s, Britain actually sent knitters to Ireland to teach more modern knitting techniques to the islanders so that they could better support themselves. And so this chain link here and then this bar, kind of border at the bottom are very British knitting elements that, again, for the first time were beginning to show their way into Ireland. Irish knitwear. So, this piece, the original actually is in the National Museum in Ireland in Dublin, but this is such a historic piece and really is a very authentic, very true representation of what a traditional Aran workwear knitwear piece would look like. Now, juxtaposing that, we have another piece that then represents the polar opposite. So whereas this was workwear, this is what we call the celebration knit. And as you can see, it's highly adorned, with very rich, kind of intricate Aran cables. And this is called a celebration piece because traditionally mothers would knit these for their children to wear for First Communion at church. And so it's very much a celebration piece, because of the amount of time and energy that was put into a piece like this. You wouldn't wear it, during the day, to go play. You would wear it, really as your Sunday's best. So we call this our celebration piece. We actually have a photograph of Tarlach's son, wearing one of these to his first communion that was hand knit on the island. So the celebration piece, juxtaposed against, the workwear piece of the Martin Beg, really it's just kind of the tale of two stories, the workwear and the celebration knits, and it's so much of the part of kind of the Aran Islands. And so, these two pieces to me are two pieces that everyone should have in their collection. If you're really passionate and interested just in the story and the romance of the Aran Islands and of Inishmine and really traditional Aran cables, there's no better representation of that historically than these two pieces here. This is an undyed super G-long fiber, and so, I love kind of the natural, almost oatmeal color. This is 100% natural, it's not dyed, it's not bleached, and really gives this piece just a beautiful natural look to it. Another reason that I think that these two pieces are just such great representations of Inishmine is because they really are as true as it comes to the fundamental purpose of the company, which is preserving the traditional Gaelic culture and language. And so these two pieces, do a great job representing that mission of Inishmine. These pieces are knit out of a very warm, 100% G-long merino wool. It's the finest quality. But also, early for this season, we have some knitwear from Inishmine out of linen, 100% European linen. It is completely sourced and spun within Europe, and it's the finest quality linen you really can get anywhere. And linen isn't something that people traditionally think of for knitwear, but linen is one of my favorite fibers, as you guys may know, and it makes an exceptional material for knitwear because it is a great transitional piece, right? So, whereas, this you'd wear, on the mountains or on a really cold day, whenever it begins to warm, or if you live in a little bit more mild of climates like here in Texas, these linen pieces are absolutely fantastic, and they're some of my favorite. Another thing to remember about linen is that it is the strongest fiber. So these pieces are incredibly strong and long-lasting. They don't pill like any type of cashmere or wool does. And so if you don't have any linen in your wardrobe, I really encourage you to try it out because I absolutely enjoyed myself. Now we have several pieces this year, and so I'll just go through these one by one. This is just a traditional Crewneck, but what makes this unique is one, it has a saddle shoulder, right? So the shoulder or the sleeve isn't set in, and it just lies flat over the shoulder as it goes down. And what I love about this is it has a beautiful kind of ribbed detail here. It almost kind of reminds me of almost an athletic jersey. And it's got just a nice kind of thick ribbed collar. And this in the pure optical white, of course it's bleached in order to achieve this level of whiteness, is just a beautiful piece that you could easily throw on the weekend and wear by itself. You could even throw it on top of a dress shirt and tie. So this is 100% washed linen. It does have 2% lycra in it, and so because it's less than 5, you don't actually have to declare it on the label. That's nice because it just gives the linen a little bit of rebound to help the sweater better retain its shape. Now all knitwear, especially linen, over time will begin to kind of lose its shape depending on how rough you are on it, but these can easily be reblocked, so you wet the sweater, you reform it and then allow it to dry flat and you're able to re-put the shape back into it. Our, of course, favorite dry cleaners, Ray Fabric Care, are excellent at reblocking knitwear should you ever have anything that needs to be stretched because it shrunk or shrunk because it stretched. So beautiful piece, easy to wear, and I absolutely love this optical white. Now next, we have another piece that is really quite unique. So this is, of course, 100% linen. It has a little bit of lycra in it also, 2%. But again, you have this traditional kind of Aran cable on it, right? So you see the pattern right here. But what's unique about this, and what I think makes this an easy piece to wear, is it's actually knit on the purl. So actually the reverse of the fabric is black, and then you've got navy on the outside. So on the cable, it gives this beautiful kind of two-tone nature to it, where you've got on the surface navy, but recessed into the texture of the knit is black. And you can really see that on the inside where, you know, it's 100% black. And so it makes it a dark, you know, kind of a little bit more of a formal piece. And again, is a beautiful piece. It's easy to wear. You know, I could throw it on top of, you know, what I'm wearing today, or you could even just wear it alone on the weekend. And linen is so soft, actually, once it's washed, that, you know, you almost want to wear this, you know, either with a t-shirt or with no shirt at all, so that you could really enjoy just the luxurious feeling of this piece. So next we have 3 tunics. Now, I absolutely love a tunic because, one, I mean, you can throw it over a collared shirt, but secondly, I mean, you almost want to wear this as a t-shirt. You know, these are perfect, again, for those transitional months, especially in evening time where the temperature drops maybe into the 60s. You know, you throw one of these on, they're incredibly comfortable and beautiful. And this, to me, is a great representation of Tarlach's capacity at Inishmine, you know, really to blend the traditional with the modern. So this is a beautifully knit at 100% certified European linen. It has a little bit of lycra in it for stretch, and I just love the beautiful colors we have here. So this is the Hawthorn color, which is a mixed gray. It's incredibly neutral and soft, and, you know, it really reminds me of almost, you know, Inishmine during the day, during the winter time, where you have the gray sky, the maritime weather, and you know, it's just a beautiful piece. I absolutely love this, and probably will be adding it to my collection. Now, you know, introducing a little bit more color, you've got 2, again, beautiful pieces that are really inspired by colors of the island. This is called their Blackberry, which, you know, is almost a navy and a red Donegal. It's not an actual Donegal, but it gives that kind of melange effect because of all the different yarns used to knit this. And it's just an absolutely beautiful, rich color. I mean, this is such a beautiful piece. And again, easy to throw over something or even wear kind of by itself. And you know, it's an opportunity to really just kind of introduce some really interesting colors into your knitwear, which honestly you don't see that often. Now, equally beautiful, and this is another favorite piece of mine, is this same piece in a Bluemix Stripe. So again, this is unique because it is knit on the purl also, so you can see, you know, on the inside is a different kind of a pattern than on the outside. But again, easy to wear, you know, tunic, absolutely beautiful. And just look at those blues. I mean, just the blue texture of the stripes. I mean, this piece right here, gosh, is so incredible. Such a great casual piece for the weekend, you know, and again, the linen, you know, you oftentimes, you know, linen is never associated with knitwear. It's just not what you think about. You think of cashmere and merino wools, but honestly, you know, my linen pieces are amongst my favorite. And lastly, we have a very, you know, interesting and unique piece from Inishmine. It's kind of an updated pub jacket. You know, it's not technically a pub jacket. This is actually a shirt jacket. So this piece right here is really, it's an overshirt. It's kind of an updated pub jacket. You know, it's great for almost in lieu of a cardigan in the office if you're looking for an additional layer, or to just kind of throw it on over a t-shirt on the weekend. I mean, it's a versatile piece. And what I love about this is that, you know, it offers the layering of a piece of knitwear, yet it is way more interesting and just differentiated and a little bit more unique than just a traditional sweater. So this is, of course, buttoned on the front. You know, it has cuffed, you know, a nice small cuff, you know, collared. It's knit on the purl, so you can see that on the inside it offers that visual detail. And it has an interior pocket that is actually totally knit into this, right? So you can kind of see the shadow of it on the front. You know, it's not set in or sewn, it's actually knit into the piece, which is incredibly unique. And so, you know, it's nice, you can kind of throw something in here, your cell phone or something. So this is a great example of Inishmine's capacity to really, you know, have traditional influences but stay modern. I mean, these These sweaters are knit on the latest generation looms and then linked by hand. This is not a cottage industry shirt. It really is a great combination of artisanship, craftsmanship, design, and technology. This is knit without any stretch, so this is 100% linen with no lycra. And it's knit out of a heavier linen, so it really is a substantial jacket, that again, you can wear in those transitional months, in those warmer climates. It could almost be a summer blazer of sorts. And it's just a great kind of casual piece, that you're not gonna see anywhere else. And so this is a little bit more of an investment piece. It's unique, but it's an absolutely beautiful color. I love this kind of neutral blue, gray, and white. It can almost be worn with anything. Easy to wear and a great addition to any wardrobe. So Inishmine really represents, the type of brands that we really seek out here at Kirby Allison's Hanger Project. It's really going to the far corners of the earth, really seeking out, the rare and unique and the special. And so Inishmine is, in my opinion, one of the most authentic knitwear brands that's out there. They have an incredible mission, an incredible story, and are really doing work of the absolute highest caliber. All these items are available on hangerproject.com, and you can find links in the video description below. And I encourage you to take a look at these. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications by clicking the bell to the right of the subscribe button so that you can learn whenever we release new videos. If you have any questions or comments about anything we discussed on this video, please ask them in the comments section below. And of course, please visit hangerproject.com, where we have the largest, most comprehensive collection of luxury garment care and shoe care accessories in the world, as well as many other incredible products for the well-dressed. And while you are there, subscribe to our newsletter to receive notifications of new product launches, promotions, as well as a weekly digest of all the videos we publish here on our YouTube channel. I'm Kirby Allison. Thanks for joining me.